today. It is January 21 of 2026, of course, and it is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you're at Donnell's Stitchery, which is what I like to call my little area in here and all, my little space in this room of my little stitchery. So how is everybody doing today? I see the chat has already been going pretty wild and crazy. We got Michelle and Auntie Patricia. And let's see, Miss Sylvia. And we got Day in the house. And let's see here. We got Auntie Donna. Auntie Donna, I absolutely loved your video today for Back to the Basics. It was super entertaining and very, very informative. I love how it was great for a beginner quilter or crafter even, as well as a great reminder for some of us that may have caught some bad habits along the way of our years. Present company included in that one. She says, good evening, friends. Thank you, Donnell, for joining in this amazing project to get back to those that have served. To have you on the big screen and listening tonight. Enjoy the show. Y'all pay the rent. Yes, if you don't pay that rent, I'm going to have Papa Joe send over Marty to your house. You don't want Marty coming over because he'll bring all of his cousins and it's just going to be a whole lot of hoop shenanigans going on. And then we have Melissa's in the house, runs with quilts, which is way better than running with scissors. And let's see, we got Jean Moosley, good morning, love, and Miss Deb Cornell, and Miss Branka, Miss Iris Lady, Miss Linda. Hello, hello, hello to all of my beautiful peeps in here. And yes, I might have had a couple cups of coffee today, so I'm a little on the hyper side. So, and let me put this up over here. So, I know I was telling everybody before we get started, that I was going to be having Sean on my live stream this Saturday. Some things that we had to rework the schedule a little bit. So, this Saturday, I will be on his live stream at 8 a.m. And then I'll be coming back over here to have a live stream by myself this Saturday at 10 a.m. Excuse me. And where I'll be working on some Quilts As You Go blocks. Because I need to get some blocks for my Lunatide all quilted up. And then next Saturday, Sean will be on my channel. His wife, Amanda, needed some little extra manly help and everything all in her classroom for this Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. So he's going to go help her, and then he'll be on with me next Saturday. Hello, Miss Pat Wainwright. How are you doing? I hope everybody is staying warm, staying dry, and has everything that they need. A lot of areas are going to be getting hit with a lot of storms and a lot of severe coldness. Like I just got a report today that from the weather station stating that we're going to be looking at a possible negative 25 below zero over the next like 24 to 36 hours. I'm like, hold the phone. You can stop right there. That's not permitted. I did not authorize this. So I am going to set my little mouse over here off to the side. Hopefully I don't knock it off. And I am going to, so this block right here is the one that we're going to make. I would take it down and show it to you, but I figured we can just do it together and you'll see all the fabrics and everything. And psh, don't tell anybody, but the red is actually Christmas fabric. But I still thought it looked absolutely gorgeous with this. And it's still red. Cold and snow will be here Saturday night. Yeah. I woke up this morning to like 2 more inches of snow, and then it continued to snow throughout the day. My son's actually outside tending to it right now. I'm not leaving this house. There are some things I need to get from the store, so we're going right after work tomorrow to go to the store and get the stuff that I need, because I need more lamb, some more raw lamb meat, so I can be able to cook it up for the babies. Because what I've been doing is dry food mixed with, I was doing mixed with wet food, but I can't find the wet food I need for them. So I'm giving them lamb and rice mixture mixed in with their dry food, so that they're still getting all the nutrients that they need. And let's see. Hey, Miss Nancy, she says, that is more than cold. Burr, right? I'm like, what are you doing to me, Mother Nature? Okay, so I got us down here on the table now. And as you guys can see, I have no rings on my hands anymore right now because for whatever reason, my fingers have broken out and actually called scar tissue around my fingers, around my 2 ring fingers. I don't know what took place because there are rings I've worn for like 15 plus years. So I don't know what happened. But, and I mean, they were sterling silver, so I don't know what's going on. But they're healing up, and I'm going to give them a really good cleaning, and hopefully that resolves the issue. Now, I've already taken, so my red fabric is this gorgeous poinsettia fabric here. This is actually some fabric I had left over from doing my Christmas fabric, my Christmas quilt from the Jingle Swap blocks. This here is the fabric that I used for the outside border, the large outside border. And then this here is the blue fabric I'm using, which is Patriotic Stars and American Flags. Super love this fabric. I was struggling to find fabric that I wanted. And one of my moderators, Melissa, actually was great enough to, she had an overabundance of blue. I had tons of red and white, but I had no blue. So she sent me the blue. And then this here is the white fabric that I'm using. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the floral print. Stay warm and safe. We need more quilts. I need to do blood work tomorrow and then to Wally World for meds. You stay warm and safe too, sweetheart. You're allergic to the metal in your rings. Yeah, my husband said that he's kind of wondering if there's a metal in it that is causing an allergic reaction. Which is weird because I've had those same 2 rings on for like 15 years. One of them is my wedding band. Sound like what the poopies. Hey, Miss Laura. Like, I kind of wonder if I developed an allergy. Because ever since I hit menopause, I've actually developed where now I have eczema breakouts. And it's usually like on my arms and all. So what we're going to do is, I've already done this first step where I take a red one and pair it with a white one. And then a blue one and pair it with a white one. So you'll need, for this block here that we're going to do, I rarely make a Wednesday live, so I'm excited. Yes, girl. I loved your comment earlier. It made me happy. It's a hormonal imbalance. Oh. I'll definitely have to bring it up to my gynecologist to see what she says on what we can do, because I can't go around and not be having my wedding band on. I mean, I can, but I don't want to. I mean, no matter what, I'm still married, and my husband knows and understands. He doesn't wear his. He doesn't like wearing jewelry, so. But anyway, so we're going to sew a 1/4 of an inch seam on just one side to stitch these up. So we'll go ahead and do these 2 up. That way that you guys can go ahead and see. So I'm just putting the white on the top and stitching down a 1/4 of an inch of the seam. Alrighty then. You're not fussy on me over here, little girl Juki. Hey, Vicky, how you doing? She says, I got my honeycomb thing today. I really love it. Thank you. You are so welcome. Hello, X-Ray. Might have to go silicone band. That is a good idea. And thank you for coming and hanging out with us today, X-Ray. Great to see you in here. So technically what I would be doing at this point is taking these over to my pressing mat. Oops, we got a little bit of a fray going on here. We'll just clip that instead of pulling on it. I would take these over. I would very easily, don't want to pull hard, but very easily open this up. I just like to run my finger right down the seam because I prefer my seams to be open. It gives less bulk. Granted, it makes it where you can't nest the seams together, but if you're cautious, then you can be able to easily match up the seams. And the best part is for this, you really don't have a whole lot of seams you got to match up. What size are the rectangles? So, oh, thank you, Auntie Patricia. So these are potato chip blocks, which is 2.5 inch. So every one of these fabrics are all cut identical. So they are 2.5 inches wide by 4.5 inches long. So you could actually use, this is jelly roll friendly, charm pack friendly, super easy to be. So what I would normally do is take these over to my, oh, definitely, thanks, I'm in frigid North Dakota. Oh, yeah, they get it worse than we do. I only wear rings when I go out, otherwise they're in my jewelry box. I had to have my wedding ring and anniversary ring retipped due to wear, and it was expensive. I know. My engagement band, okay, so I have 2 sets of wedding jewelry. I have a wedding band, and then I have my engagement ring and wedding band set that my husband initially got me. So when we went in to go get my engagement ring cleaned, and my husband wanted to have a larger diamond put in it right before we got married, they had to redo the little clasp tip thingies that go up over the diamond. And oh my gosh, I could not believe how expensive that was. That alone was like $900. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anywho, back to this. So these are all cut 2.5 inches wide, 4.5 inches long. Super friendly for charm packs, jelly rolls, or any other sizes. But if you want the least amount of cutting, I would suggest either jelly roll or charm pack. Charm pack are 5-inch squares, so you would just need prongs. Thank you, Auntie Patricia. So, but anywho, so I like to press seams open, so I just finger press that. And then I would normally take this over to my pressing board with my best press, put a little best press right on the seam, not the whole thing, just right on the seam, and then press it nice and flat, which would give you these nice flat seams right here that you see on this one. And you can actually see the difference of the two. So nice, good, solid flat seams here, which is the one I use the best press on. And that one there, not so flat. But finger press will be sufficient for now. Okay. Okay. I'm have complications for orientation, so I always have to look to make sure I have it exactly how I need it. So for this block, hey Vintage Joe, so for this block you will need 8 of each one, 8 of these 2 pairs. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's an extra one. And all of our blocks are going to be designed the exact same way. Super easy. We got one that goes diagonal, and then one that goes horizontal. Or one that goes horizontal, one that goes vertical. Where it creates like this 7 or an L, whichever way you want to look at it. It could either be an L or it could be a 7, which is the easy way for it to remember. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take the same 2 fabrics, same 2 4 patches. We need 4 of each of these, so 4 in each one. And this is going to create one block. We need 4 that goes this direction, 4 that goes this direction, for a total of 8 of the blue and white. And then you'll also need 4 of the red and white, and 8 of the red and white. So, got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put 4 here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So a total of 8 of these. So 8 of the red and white, 8 of the blue and white. And you'll need, so 4 in this pile, 4 in this pile of each color. So then we're going to just take them and we're going to stitch them together. And it's all in the layout. And since they are all the same size, they fit nice and beautifully perfect on here with no complications. And if there is, then there is a complication somewhere down the line of either the sewing or the cutting. And the best part is that there are no seams to match up on this here, on these 2 pieces, because they're going in opposite directions. So then we just try and lay it down nice and evenly on here. And I like to lay this part here down on the bottom. Hey, Joanna. I don't know if this pattern here has an actual name or not, besides potato chip block. I don't know if the design of it, has an actual name. But I was just playing with different layouts with just these 2 colors and this measurements the other day, and this is what I came up with that I like the best for this. So I decided to go this route to make my Quilts of Valor quilt. At least for this one. I got a couple of them I want to make, but this is the one I'm starting off with. I'll be sending to Auntie Donna. Auntie Donna is doing a Quilts of Valor collection, and all you need is a quilt top that the ideal measurements, as well as the minimum measurements and the maximum measurements, are all in the bottom. It's the Donnell block, right? Right, Melissa? Okay, so now this one here, I'm going to flip it around. Oh, nope, I'm going to keep it the way it is. I don't want to mess up my orientation, because if I do, I'm going to mess everything up, and my brain's going to get all like, oh, okay, what was I doing? Sorry, guys. This is like real life tutorial here. Hey, Katie Krause. How you doing, love? I think I may have already said hi to you, but I'm doing it again to be on safe measures here, okay? And all I'm doing is putting one end of the seams to one solid part of the blue, making sure that my color fabric stays on this side over here. That is so rude of her. How dare she interrupt your YouTube time? I hope everything was okay, though. And I do have all of the Quilt of Valor information in the description of this video. She is taking quilts up until you need to have them to Donna at Handmade by Ying. Her appeal box and everything is all listed in the description box of this. The measurements, the date span, everything. For this first round, I don't have the measurements the date span and everything for the next round. Just because right now we're mainly just working on the March 1st. Which is when she needs to have them in her hands. So, now I'm just cutting these all apart. This is the best part about this. Both the red and the blue can be all stitched together all at the same time, same orientation, because all it is just flipping it. So now I'm just going to finger press these very carefully, because I don't want to overstretch or anything. That's the reason why I'm keeping my fingers right here on the seam area, so that way there I'm not overstretching or anything. And you see how we got nice, beautiful L shape. So how is everybody in here doing tonight? Little Miss Peaches over here says she is doing great. Because she is always spoiled rotten to the core. I took her out of her cage the other day, guys, on Sunday, and let me tell you, that little girl gave me up such a fuss. She was refusing to go back into her space. I'm trying to eliminate all this extra little parts like this pressing and stuff like that. So now we got 4 of these. 2, 3, 4. So now we got 4 of these. You think Luna knows that the weather is going to get freaky? Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Dogs are pretty got pretty good intuition. Doing better, thank you. Waiting for my new biological. I hope that everything works out fine. So I'm not even turning on the iron because these fabrics here press so nicely without too much of a fuss, with the exception of this one piece right here because it's just being a little booger. Right? Peaches is such a little baby cake. I swear to goodness gracious. So you need 4 of these components for each one. So now, what we are going to do, we have these here. And we are going to turn the blue this way. And then we are going to put the red this direction. And yes, I keep looking back behind me because I have to be able to pay attention when I'm doing and making sure my orientation is perfect. So we're going to stitch these down this direction like this right here. The only seam you're going to match up is this center one that goes straight across. That's the only seam that matches up in this. It's like an easy 4-patch, guys. Head back to Charleston in the morning. Bad weather coming to Savannah, so better go get out while the getting is good. Girl, yes. Be safe. Make sure you let us know when you're home safely, please. Or back in Charleston safely. My sister always calls me when she's driving somewhere. She lives in Iowa and needs company. No worries at all. The good thing you answer, Laura. Yes. You are so welcome, Joanna. So now we're going to take these. We're going to put them right sides together. Now, since I do not press my seams one way or the other, so that way there you can't exactly nest them, what I like to do is try and look at the fabrics here. And you can pretty much gauge based upon where this is. But if you pull it back just a little bit, then you can actually see that the seams are lining up. And that's what you want. And if you want, you could even try and take like a little pin and poke it in just a little bit below the seam there. And that'll hold that center together to give you a nice accuracy. And now I'm just going to scoot this on over. Usually whether I pin or not, I usually still have difficulty getting everything to line up sometimes. So what I like to do is, once I get to this certain point right here, I like to make sure everything's still laying nice and flat underneath. And then this top one here, I'll pull it back a little bit to make sure that my seams are all still good right there. And then without pulling, make sure everything is still lined up down over here. And you're going to do this to all 4 pairs of these. See? Let's see. Thanks, everyone. You're very welcome. Those fork pins for that. I don't know. I mean, you can use pretty much anything you want for it. Another thing I like to do, because I'm not so much of a pinner if I don't have to, is I just keep my thumb right here on that seam, holding it down. And then making sure that this, once I get to that seam, then I make sure that I'm still lined up down here, which I am. Okay, so let's go ahead and take out the first one, which is the one that I pinned. Me too, Laura. These fabrics are absolutely gorgeous. And the red fabric, which is poinsettias, was actually some scraps that I had left over from a 2-yard cut that I had. There was actually 2 1-yard cuts, but this is the leftover, the second 1-yard cut. Okay, so the best part is if your seams are not 100% matched up, it's okay because you can't really actually tell too much unless you're really getting up and close and personal. But it looks like I actually did a really good job with the pinning because that seam lines up just beautifully right there. So you can just barely see it, like right there. It looks like it patched up just perfectly. And that's the one I pinned. So let's stitch up another one and then we'll see how I did on the one that I did not pin. Check my accuracy, you know? Why not? Let's see how good Donnell can do without pins. And if I don't get it 100%, I'm okay. It's not going to kill me because, just like I just got done saying, it's super hard to tell sometimes on these on whether it made it 100% accurate or not. Okay, here comes the test. Let's try and press this one. Do. Come on, you seam, open. Open says me. I like to give a little extra oomph to right in the center of that seam where the seams are at. Let's see here. It looks like it might be slightly off. Just a hair off. But in a quilt, you would not be able to tell. So I'm fine with it. So you just need 4 of those right there. Which is the reason why I love doing this one here, because for one, you can't tell if you're slightly off. Come on. There we go. That's a good little fabric. Until I said something, and then you had to be a bad little fabric. Let's see. Riding past on the horse is okay. Yeah, that's darn Skippy. Okay, so now I'm going to finger press these 2 open. And once I get done with the light string, then I'll hit these all with the iron really good in my best press. It's just for the purpose of the show. I'm just doing, hey, Miss Brenda, how are you doing, girl? So for the purpose of this, I am just doing a finger pressing because it's sufficient enough right now where I can be able to get everything to lie down flat enough for this. So this one here is a little bit of a booger. Someone that gave me the troubles. And I know it's because the fabric here needs to be pressed better. Okay, so now we're going to start off with, we want the blue going this direction. And I'm going to raise you guys up better over here. And then we want the blue making the L over here. So we want the L laying down, the blue L laying down on its back. Then we want the blue L standing up the way it's supposed to. And then the bottom one, the blue L is going to be like a 7. And then it's going to be standing on its head. And that is how we're going to make this block. So it's all about turning the block. So let me show you guys. Let me bring you guys out this way. So what we're going to do is we're essentially going to take this block right here. The next one goes over like this. Next one goes like this. Next one goes like this. And that way there, it's like turning one turn for every position you put it. So we're going to start over here like this. We're going to turn this one this way. That way there, this right here is the only thing we got to match up on this one. Now we do got to be a little bit more careful on this one here, because this in here, if you get it off centered, then you'll know it, because it's red and white. I mean, you know. Okay, so that one, we started off with like this and like this. So now we're going to turn this one 1, 2, 3 times, because it's going to be over here. And then 1, 2 times. Because we want to make sure that the red and the white are not 100% lined up. We want the top of the red and the bottom of the red over here to match up right there. Yes, I'm going to sew a block while standing on my head, Joanna. Watch and see. Yes, it comes out to be a 16-inch block. So let me double check what I was telling you guys. Make sure I have it right. Yep. So we got the 7, and then we got the blue over here that is going to be standing on its head. So I'm calling this the head, and this is the back. We're going to put these two together, and then we'll finger press these seams and get these babies out there going, yeah. Fraser, say, yeah. Are you saying yeah, Peaches? Mama, pretty girl. This one maybe is the hair off, but that's okay. And the best part about this part here that you patched, these two are together now. So now you could actually open them up and stitch them together. But first thing I gotta do is I want to finger press my seams. And I still got them to get connected to each other right here. Day says, I think I'm standing on my head. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not confusing everybody. Just working on limited space right here. So now we're going to put these, we're going to flop these. Oops. First I'm going to cut that string. I don't like the tails from the sewing machine from when you first start sewing to be on here. So what I'm going to do now is make sure that my centers are matching up beautifully. And for this one here, I will go ahead and put a pin in it because I don't want to lose that center. Come on, get underneath there. Ouch. Preferably without poking my fingers, please. Because we got a section here that needs to meet up. And we're going over the midsection. Now, I would be having a lot less of a fight with these if I was actually pressing them with the iron and my best press. But since I didn't, then that's okay. And the best part is, with these being potato chip blocks, you could actually trim them down if they're too big for you. You can trim them to whatever size you want. And this design here will work with any size blocks. Hello, Miss Kathy. How are you doing? Let's see. Me too as well, Laura. I did not catch the comment, but I will go up and look in just a second. Now I'm going to snip that little thread that was holding those two half sections together. And the chat getting ready for the winter weather this weekend. Shopping for all the essentials. Beer, wine should keep me warm in the inside while snuggling under quilts. Oh my gosh, girly. Silly girl. My husband says there is a pork chop in every beer can. All right. So, and this is the block that we come out with. And I love it because it makes like these crisscrosses and everything. And when you put it up here with the other block, there's my pincushion. Then when you put it up here with the other one, then you see here that you're starting to get the design that you have with the red, you're starting to get it over here with the blue as well. So I think this is going to come out being an extremely gorgeous quilt. And with them being 16 inches wide, 16 inches square, then you can be able, hey, Miss Yo Patty G. Looks like a windmill block. Very pretty. Thank you. Yeah, so once you get these put together, they are 16 inches square. So you can easily be able to do like a 4 across, 5 down, and then make a nice twin size quilt. That is the ideal size measurements for the Quilt of Valor. Thank you, everybody. So it's going to be 16-inch square, unfinished block. And I think I got it figured out to where I can even do like a small, where I can do like a small, a small white border going around it all when it's done, and that it still keep it within the allowed size measurements without being too big. And then I still got to do it and figure out the fabrics that I'm going to use for the binding, which I got a lot of that poinsettia fabric, so I'm kind of thinking I might do that. Let's see. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, as soon as I figured out this design the other night, I was like, I gotta do this on a live stream and show everybody. Plus, I wanted to be able to let Auntie Donna know, hey, and to participate in too. Granted, I did tell her numerous times that I was participating too, but I wanted to be able to show it with you guys, give you guys all the information. All the info is listed in the description below. Her P.O. box for shipping it out. You do need to create a binding. You do not need a quilted. It is just a quilt top, and it's just a binding that you send with it, because then she's sending it out to the representative that she's been in contact with. They're gonna sandwich them, quilt them, and bind them, and before they dispense them to the veterans through Quilts of Valor. And so the best way to measure for your binding, since you are not actually binding it yourself, would be to do like, say, like an 80 by 80 size amount of binding, or even a little bit larger. Larger is always better. And which would be, I can give you that measurement in one moment. 80 times 4. 320 inches minimum is what I would say send for the binding, with the binding already made up. Thank you, Day. Yeah, I'm going to do 4 of these across and 5 of them down. I actually already did up enough to make up a whole nother block, but I am going to do that off camera because, yeah, I want to be able to press out my stuff really nicely, because I'm just happier when it's pressed before I sew it. And I don't feel like turning on the iron and everything and pressing for 15 minutes, the last 15 minutes of the live stream. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end here because dinner was just delivered, and I don't like to eat on camera in front of everybody. To me, that just looks unprofessional. Granted, I'm not 100% professional, but I try to keep at least somewhat by not eating and slopping my jaws around and everything while everybody's watching me. It's not attractive. But I hope everybody has a wonderful, beautiful evening. If you get out and about, please, 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 please be safe, stay warm, and keep them fur babies indoors, because it is way too yucky out for the fur babies, especially if you're in these northern areas where it is about to get really cold. I love you guys all so very much. Stay safe, have fun, and smile, because you never know whose day you can brighten with a simple gesture of a smile. A true smile.